Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Zeus and I are ready for today's story. Now, this story has to do with something pretty special. Maybe you have some of these at your house. Zeus is like, what is that? Do you have any pumpkins? Maybe for decorating at fall, maybe you grew some. My mom grew this in her garden. Isn't it a pretty pumpkin? Today's story is called The Pumpkin Parable, and I love seeing pumpkins during fall, right? Don't you? So let's read our pumpkin parable here together. This is The Pumpkin Patch Parable by Liz Curtis Higgs, illustrated by Munger. We are back with our farmer and the family, aren't we? See that big red barn? And those rolling green fields? That's where the farmer lives, way out in the country. It's so far out the streets don't even have stop signs. The farmer grows lots of different things in those fields. He grows tall green corn and big red tomatoes, long yellow squash and little green peas. People eat that stuff for dinner. The best vegetable that the farmer grows are pumpkins. They start out as flat oval seeds, almost as big as raisins. One hot June day, soon after school let out, the farmer planted pumpkin seeds just like he did every summer. The seeds disappeared into the ground in nice neat rows and grew there in the dark all through the 4th of July. Early one morning, a tiny green shoot quietly poked its way out of the soil. Soon, a long green vine stretched across the ground, and from that vine, little buds sprouted into wide green leaves. The leaves spread out flat to catch the autumn sun. Someday, those little green buds would turn into big orange pumpkins. But not yet. The patient farmer waited and waited. The pumpkins began to grow, and how different they looked. Some were tall and lean, some were short and round, some had lumps and bumps, but all of them were pumpkins. October came at last. The sky was bright and blue and the air was cooler. Every night it got dark earlier than it did the night before. It was time for the farmer to harvest his pumpkin crop. The farmer's many workers brought lots of ripe pumpkins in from the fields. Which one would he choose first? The farmer picked up one large pumpkin, being very careful not to let it slip through his hands. Pumpkins are tough on the outside, but they break into smithereens if you drop them. He washed off all the dirt, holding on tight. Next came the messy part. Pumpkins are full of dozens of seeds and lots of slimy pulp. The farmer had a special plan for his chosen pumpkin, so the seeds and the slime had to go. He slowly slid a large knife right into the center of the pumpkin. The pumpkin didn't make a sound because vegetables don't talk, but if they did talk, the pumpkin might have said, "Ouch!" Gently, the farmer cut a round hole in the top of the pumpkin and pulled on the stem. Squishy, stringy pulp waited for him inside. Yuck! The farmer pulled out all of the slimy pulp and wrapped it up in old newspaper. Off to the compost pile it went, never to be seen again. Then something really exciting happened. The pumpkin got a new face. The farmer carved a triangle for each eye. Pumpkins have eyes that don't blink or turn away. They see everything. He neatly carved a little square for a nose and then a big, wide smile. What happened next was wonderful. The farmer put a small white candle down inside the pumpkin and touched the wick with a flame. How that pumpkin glowed! As the sky grew darker, the pumpkin on the porch was shining brighter than ever, and when people saw the smiling pumpkin, they smiled back. All the neighbors knew that once again the farmer had turned a simple pumpkin into a simply glorious sight. In the same way, God the Father offers His children the chance to be made new, full of joy and full of light, shining like stars in a dark world. The end. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, what did you think of our pumpkin patch parable? Now, we have some activities that you guys can do. In the description down below, there's a couple of links. And we have activities where we've got our Bible verses from the story, and we can decorate this pumpkin and practice our letters. We've also got an activity full with all the Bible verses that were in our story down at the bottom. All of our Bible verses that talk about how God is like a farmer, isn't he? And he always grows great fruit, and we are his children, and he has his light inside of us shining out because he makes us new. And so then we've got coloring pages where you can shine your light for Jesus, and then different memory verses too. All right, so we've got activities, and then if you want some other fun songs to listen to, there's also a link here for the farmer with some songs all about how God can be our farmer. All right, so enjoy the links, enjoy the activities, and Zeus and I might have to just do something with this pumpkin. What do you think? Maybe pumpkin pie, maybe I like roasting the pumpkin seeds. Oh, they're one of my favorite snacks with a little bit of salt. Maybe we'll even see if we can give our pumpkin a face like the farmer did, to let God's light shine through us, to remind us that God makes us clean, he makes us new creations, and he loves us so much. Well, you have a great rest of your day. And Zeus, do you want to say goodbye? He goes, that pumpkin scares me. He's like, get it away. All right, have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next time.